Hi. What's up? Writer Radio. Something's weird with the head. There's something weird with the audio. I hope it's loud enough. Is it loud enough? Let me know in the chat if something's weird with the volume of the stuff. It seems like it's not loud enough. I don't know. I had this awesome looking background thing I was using for the show, and that all worked super well until I decided to create this dumb orange background for the 200th episode, which happened on Friday. And it feels like I haven't done a show in a while because that one was pre-recorded. I mean, by me, it was me the whole time. I did all this stuff, but it aired on Friday without my presence. I was watching it with you and listening with you. I didn't listen to the whole thing or watch the whole thing because I knew what happened already. I had already seen it and heard it and done it. But I made this from all of last week. I had this. It looked great. The YouTube version of this show looked great with all these graphics I put together. And then I switched them for like a Halloween vibe, which I think that went well. I haven't talked to anybody about it since it happened. But the 200th show, it was pre-recorded, but I thought like intentionally pre-recorded. It wasn't like I just grabbed old stuff. I did a new show. I did an interview with my buddy Ben, who went to the Bills game in Charlotte. I talked to Scott Wilson. I'm totally forgetting what else was a part of the show, but it all made, Paul Peck. Paul Peck was on. Oh, something is weird with the headphones. Oh, I don't like this. Anybody who knows me well knows how frustrated I get when the show doesn't go perfectly. I hate it. I think we're okay, but there's something off with like the volume, and it just went like ear to ear in my headphones, like we were listening to the Cars from the early 80s. That was intentional, and this is unintentional if that's happening to you. Bottom line is I screwed up. I had these beautiful graphics that I built. I spent forever building them, and they're gone. They're missing. Because all I have is the Halloween version, and I apologize. It's fine. It's fine for everyone but me. And I should ignore the fact that things aren't exactly the way I want them to be. But I can't, and I'm sorry. All right, here's how the weekend went. We watched the World Series end. I went to a football game and called a football game. I was the color guy for UB at Bowling Green, and they won convincingly, decisively. That was fun. The Bills won. The Bills beat the Chiefs. I would imagine that is what you would imagine would be the focal point of the show, and it will be, I guess, to start. But I had other stuff going on. I saw a comedy show last night after the Bills game. It was awesome. So I've got that to discuss a little bit. Scott Wilson will come on around 11 o'clock and be a part of the show. I think the first thing I want to discuss is the World Series. That ended with the Dodgers winning in extra innings in Game 7. All I wanted from the series was 7 games. And then we got 7 games plus a couple innings. And there was also, obviously, game, was it 5? 4? 3. 3 was a double game. We got 18 innings out of 1 game. So the World Series, the best of 7 World Series, went about 8.5 games, which, I mean, that's cool. I like that. That's fun. Dodgers win. I'm good with it. I was good with either team. I thought this was one of the better World Series I've ever seen. Part of it is that I didn't hate either team, I think. So I didn't have a strong rooting interest. And I brought this up a couple weeks ago, a couple weeks ago. I was in Hartford and went to a minor league, an AHL hockey game. It's like, sports are better if you don't care who wins. You just root for whatever's happening, and that's fun. And that's kind of where I was on the World Series this year. I like the Dodgers. My wife really likes the Dodgers. Strangely, really likes the Dodgers. Calls the players by their first names. Come on, Kike. Come on, Max. That kind of stuff is going on in my house. So what am I going to do? Root against her? I'm not going to root against my wife. I'm trying to watch the game with my wife. I'm not going to root against my wife. Even if all the players on the other team, not all, but many of the players on the other team came through Buffalo. They're Bisons. They're dudes we watched play in person just a couple of years ago, and now they're in the World Series. Like, that, to me, that trumps rooting for a jersey you like. Dodgers do look good. Stadium looks good. Like, all of it, I like it. There's tradition. There's way more tradition. I get it. But I was like 50-50. The Dodgers are fun. I have friends that love the Dodgers. My wife somehow now loves the Dodgers. My kids, one of them played for the Dodgers. That's really where it started with this Dodger thing. But the Jays, granted, I don't want the World Series trophy to reside in a different country than the United States of America. I think that sucks. And I hated that in the early 90s when the Jays won twice. But I've gotten over it. They're our friends. They're right there. You can see them. If I go outside, if I stood on the roof, I could probably see something in Canada right now from Amherst, New York. Like, we're that close. And Toronto's right there. If we had a boat or like an underwater tunnel thing, you could be at Toronto for 45 minutes probably. It's right there. It's our home team, kind of. Especially since the affiliation happened where the Bisons are the Jays. So, I don't know. It makes sense to root for that team. It was just a good series. It was a really good series. I am hung up on one thing, though, from the series that I think would have changed all of it. It's from Game 6. I wasn't here at the time. Where was I? I was in Ohio. I was in Toledo, Ohio, at a hotel bar watching the game. And the ball was hit to left field and then got lodged, is the word that they used. Lodged. The ball wasn't lodged. The ball was just there. There was a ball that was hit to anyone who didn't watch it, didn't see it, doesn't know what I'm talking about. I guess I should explain, because you might be unfamiliar. There was a ball hit the left field, and it went between, it was like left center. It went between the left fielder and the center fielder. They both were running toward it. It got through them. It bounced, and then it hit the wall, and then it sat at the bottom, like the ground. There's a mat on the wall. That's to prevent Kike Hernandez, let's say, from running full speed into a wall and being injured for life. I get why there's a mat. I'm not positive why it didn't go all the way to the bottom, but it went to almost the bottom. The ball rolled. Excuse me, it didn't roll. It bounced. It bounced and landed at the foot of the wall, and it was slightly held in place by the mat that came down. Picture a mat. Every elementary and high school gym you've ever been in has mats on the wall. And this one went to like 2 inches, 3 inches or something above the floor. In this case, above the turf of Sky Dome or whatever it's called, Rogers Center. Ball gets hit there. Ball stays in place because it's slightly wedged in there. Outfielder raises his hands, 2 hands up, as if to say, I don't know what to do with this. This is crazy. You should make it a ground rule double. And they made it a ground rule double, and that would have... The Jays win the game if we don't allow for that to be an unplayable ball. And that's what we allowed as a nation, as a world. if I'm a massive Jays fan, that's all I'm thinking about is how we absolutely got screwed by this particular play. Run should have come in. It would have been a double with, there was one runner on, I think he was on first. Yeah, he was on first. So there's a runner on first. Ball gets hit to left. Ball gets wedged between the turf, or it's not even turf at that point. It's the warning track, so it's dirt or sand or some sort of mix of whatever they put in, gravel, whatever they put out there. The ball wasn't stuck. Dude could have just gone and picked up the ball, but he didn't. He was anticipating a hop off of the wall, and it didn't hop because it stuck. It just stayed. It hit the bottom and just stayed. And he put his hands up, and the world of baseball went, oh, yeah, that's a double. That's clearly a double. It wasn't clearly a double. Go get the ball. I've experienced this a lot with Little League. Because the diamonds where the kids play for Little League are not Sky Dome, Rogers Center. They're not Major League ready. They're not perfect. That place is perfect. It's fine. It's fine for a game. And if the ball is in play, it's in play. And it should remain as such. They called that ball lodged as if the left fielder or center fielder couldn't have picked the ball up and thrown it. I don't know who was there. I'm trying to think. I mean, Kike Hernandez was generally the left fielder, so I'm sure he was involved. It might have been Edman. It was probably Tommy Edman who was in center. I don't know. No, I don't think it was. I feel like Teoscar Hernandez was involved. I don't remember. I just know that the ball being stuck in that spot was garbage. It was not stuck. Go get the ball. He didn't like that it didn't carry to him the way he anticipated. And when it stopped, he's like, I have an idea. I'll just put my hands in the air. And the world of baseball just goes, yeah, okay, that's a double. So now it's second and third. I think the World Series was decided on that play. I know it took another day and another game and extra innings to figure out the Dodgers had won. But they won Game 6 and 7, and they won Game 6, I think, because we stopped play when a ball was stuck is the wrong word. It stayed in one place, so go get it and throw it. And they didn't go get it or throw it. And I don't know what you do, even if you're the head umpire in that game. Once we do this whole, I'm putting my arms in the air and I'm stopping play, what do we do now? You just let it keep going? Because they would have, if you just stood there, if the umps didn't react at all, you stand there, and then the guy goes and picks up the ball. But now he has altered what it would have been had he just gone to get it right off the bat. So there's not an asterisk. There's not going to be. Nobody's going to care. But I do find it, I was locked in on the playoffs this year and certainly on the World Series. And I think that was garbage. I think the whole thing turned on that stupid play. The ball being stuck under the wall, except it wasn't stuck. It was just there. If he went to pick it up, it would have come out. He could pick it up. It was a ball laying against a wall. They're like, we got to stop playing baseball right now because that ball is next to the wall. Holy crap. If I'm a Jays fan. I'm not. So I'm not like actually angry about it. I don't care. I like the Dodgers as champs, but I would have liked the actual champs to have. It was the Jays were the champs. They were. They would have won that game. Game 6. And then it went to 7, and it was a dogfight. The whole thing, the series was great. And I'm not trying to make it controversial and stupid. But, dude, I would be so mad if I was a Jays fan. I'm not. I was kind of rooting for them more than the Dodgers, even though I just like both teams. It was a good series. I would sign up for that again every year for the rest of my life. Just two interesting, fun teams with fun players and fun managers and just, I don't know, good jerseys. The Jays, I want one of those Jays hats. How do I do this? If this was like a fully national show, I'd just be like, I need one of the Jays baseball hats that they had that was baby blue on top with the navy brim. I thought those hats were awesome. Maybe I'll just buy one. Maybe during a break, I'll look online and just buy a hat. I love those hats. That was awesome. If I can get that in a stretch fit, giant head size, I'm getting one of those hats. You can get used to seeing me in that. I'm going to fix the graphics on the show. The show looks so old and stupid now compared to what it looked like all of last week. I put in a bunch of time editing graphics, and they seem to have vanished. I didn't save. I don't understand how to use a profile in this software. I don't know. It's gone. Like, I can switch to... Here's... All right. For those of you watching on YouTube, I'm going to show you... All right. So I have... Here are my things that I have right now. I have basic no cam. That's this. All right. I use this all the time just during breaks. It's got the Writer Radio logo. It says streaming live Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. at Writer Radio on YouTube, presented by Brian Janik at thefinancialguys.com. So that's what it says when I'm not doing anything. That's fine. That's basic no cam. That's what that's called. I have Countdown, which is this thing that I use right when I hit the open to the show. I made this. I like this. I didn't mess with it. It's cool. Little countdown, little spinning thing like we're watching a movie. My logo vibrating all over the place. We got that. Then we have Broadcast 1. That's this. Which is what we're using. This is prior to last week. Prior to me putting in, I don't know, 14 hours of work on making the show look better. That's what it looked like. Then it stopped working. I've got this called Episode 200 Full. I don't know what... Oh, that's the whole show. So this looks good, sounds good. Turn that down. This was the 200th episode, which was the Halloween episode, which was also a day I couldn't do a show. So I pre-recorded all kinds of stuff. Doing 2 hours of live show is so much easier than doing 2 hours of pre-recorded show. I bet I spent 14 hours making that 2 hour show so I could get on a bus and go to Bowling Green. All right, there's that one. The next scene is... See, all right, this is going to show you what is messed up. All right, if you're watching. Nope, wrong one. Oh, no. Oh, that's better. Oh, it's there. Okay. All right, aside from it saying Writer Radio Episode 200 Halloween Spooktacular recorded live in Buffalo, New York, this is what I was looking... This is what I... Okay. All right, it's not all gone. It's not gone. I thought all these graphics that I put together, I thought they were gone. They're not gone. Okay. Sorry, this just happens live. So now I switched. This is Scott Wilson. He's going to be on at 11 o'clock or so. Let's see what this looks like. Good. Aside from this graphic over here that says Writer Radio Episode 2. So when I play a song soon, I'll take a break. I'll play a song. I can fix that. Okay, we're back. We're back, man. We're back. That's what Scott will look like. Here's what Bob would look like. Everything is fine except for this thing here that's bleeding into the other part. Okay. We're better. There's Paul Peck. Nope. There's Paul Peck. Look at that. Look at Paul. Hi, Paul. Paul's coming back. Paul had a heart attack. And he missed 2 UB football games, which is not like him at all. But he's following doctor's orders. He's a good patient. He was still watching the games and texting us during the games. But he stayed home. He didn't take a 4.5 hour bus ride to and from Bowling Green, Ohio. We got that. Okay, good. John Fuller. I don't have a picture of John Fuller yet. I need one. All right, the rest of this is working fine. Okay, well, that's exciting news. That's great news. I hate when I make the show completely about the show, but the show is about the show sometimes. That's what we do. It's 10:34. It's episode 201. How about that? We did 100 episodes on the radio. We have now done 100 episodes not on the radio while still calling the show Writer Radio. I think it's a good show. I have spent the last 200 episodes trying to build a thing that people / companies / businesses are interested in being a part of. I will tell you this. Today's show will not be available in podcast form immediately because as soon as I'm done with the show, I'm going to a meeting with a new potential client. And I'm pretty excited about that. And this is somebody that reached out to me based off of the show. This is what I did. I had a conversation with my wife today. She's like, "What are you doing?" Like, "I'm building a thing." "Where's the money?" I'm like, it's not here yet. It's coming. I'm building a thing. And she's like, "Well, when is the money coming?" I'm like, "I don't know, at 1 o'clock maybe?" Like, we're starting. We've gotten to the point where it's established. I know how to do this part of it, aside from the graphics situation. Oh, I have the wrong thing up there. Hold on. Aside from the graphics situation that was messed up and I couldn't fix in time for the show, this is what we're doing. We're building a thing. If we build it, maybe they'll come. I don't know. Like, I can't say it as confidently as James Earl Jones did in Field of Dreams. But sort of. That's sort of what we're doing. I'm doing a thing that's not for everyone, but it's for some people. And the some people that are coming here are of interest to some people that would advertise on the show. And again, I would like to thank Brian Janik of the Financial Guys, who is sponsor number one. But the goal here is I want this to be the whole job. This is what I'm going to do. I'm a creative type of person. I like to talk into microphones. I'm figuring out the technology, and there's no reason in 2025 that this can't be my whole existence. You know what I mean? Like, I live in a world where I have one skill. I suck at everything. I try stuff, but I have one skill. My skill is this. My skill is communicating with people through a microphone who are listening on the radio or on their phone or on their computer or whatever. Like, that's what I'm good at. And I don't profess to be like perfect at it, but I do this better than most people do. We are now in 2025 in a world where people do this and it defines them. I'm in the wrong age bracket. I'm a 50-year-old man trying to compete with 22-year-olds for content or whatever. But I know it works. I know what I'm doing. And I'm good at the one part of it. And I'm teaching myself the rest of it. And I think it's working. But it's not working yet from a financial standpoint. The money's not pouring in. Like, oh my God, we got to give all our money to Brad, who talks in his basement on the radio and the internet. It's not even the radio, whatever. We're not quite there, but we're getting there. I got in the bus after the game on Saturday at Bowling Green, and I had a message from a guy I know very well. I'm not going to bring him up in case things don't go well today, but it's like, "Hey, can we do live trivia at my place?" It's like, "Uh-huh." And I said, "I don't just want to do live trivia at your place. I want to do shows at your place. I want to promote everything you're doing. and I want you to promote everything I'm doing, and like we can have a partnership. What I need is a handful of these partnerships, and then we're up and running. And again, thank you to Brian Janik, who same thing. He's like, oh, you're talking to people? I like what you're doing. This will make sense. Talk to some people. Mention me. I'll pay you. Like that's what I'm doing. That's the goal. That's what I'm attempting to do here with the show. I don't want to do this and then also go to some job where I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know. I don't have a plan for how to be not creative. Like I'm certainly available to do stuff for people, but I need my brain available to do this because this is the thing. There are so many people who are way worse at this than I am, who are making a killing doing just this. And not exactly this. Like, I'm trying to figure out exactly how to do it. I mean, if this was all for me, if this was all up to me, you wouldn't be looking at my face right now. It would just be a radio show. Like that's the way to go. I don't want you to look at me. I couldn't find my hat. I have a hat now that I wear because my buddy Josh said that my signature look is the hat with my initials on it. I don't know where it is. I thought I left it right over here. It's not here, so I don't have that. Now I have a hood on. I'm talking to you with a hood on a Monday morning. I look stupid. I don't care. The overall point is that in order to keep doing what I'm doing, which is this live show, there need to be sponsors involved because it's not okay to just do this for fun every day. I put everything I have, every ounce of energy I have that is not spent on wife and kids and house and little league and basketball and all the crap we do. Every ounce that I have of energy goes into this show, and it needs to be lucrative is an excessive term, but it needs to make financial sense. And as of right now, it doesn't. But when the show ends today, I'm going to talk to somebody who is kind of taking it in that direction. So I guess I'll say this. We've got even right now, I'm looking at the screen. It says sponsor inquiry. Text 716-288-5246. If you have any interest in being a sponsor / advertiser on the show, by all means, please contact me through that number, 716-288-5246. That's what I'm doing today. So the podcast won't be up because the show's going to end at noon. And when the show ends, I'm leaving to go talk to somebody. And then when I get back, at some point, I'll get around to posting this as a podcast. But it won't be right away because I've got something more important to do. That's kind of what I picture is doing that 3 times a week. Like 3 times a week, I should be ending the show and running out to talk to somebody who wants to be a part of the show. It's small. I'm not pretending I have this massive audience. But what I do have are super loyal. I love every one of you that is tuning in now. Because you're loyal, man. Like you're in for the ride. What I'm doing right now is it's a ride. And I think it can be a massive thing. Probably not from my basement with a rugby shirt and a picture of Khalil Mack behind me. And OJ. Is that OJ? Yeah, it's OJ. OJ against the Jets, running for 2,000 yards in just 14 games. I don't know what my point was. I didn't talk about the Bills yet. It's 10:43. Bills won. Bills beat the Chiefs. Let's discuss that. I'm looking at the standings right now, the NFL standings, the conference, AFC standings. And I get that the Colts lost yesterday. That was cool. I want that to happen. I want them to fall back into the pack a little bit. Patriots won yesterday. Ugh. That was frustrating. I figured out a way to watch that game eventually. Like, I've got the ability to watch NFL Red Zone, just not on the TV in the family room where we were watching TV. But I figured out I got it on my phone and then, like, projected it to that or whatever you call it, linked it to that. And so we watched as the Falcons tied it, it seemed, except missed the extra point, so they didn't tie it and then lost by 1. That would have fixed everything. The Patriots with 3 losses. The Pats at 6-3 would have done everything for me. Because the Colts lost 2. They're at 7-2. The bottom line is, if you're looking at standings in the AFC, just look at the losses because they're uneven right now. I hated Jim Nantz yesterday. Jim Nantz was, I like Jim Nantz. Hello, friends. We consider him a friend. Hello, friend. Hi, Jim. Like, we're cool. I like Romo. Like, I like that broadcast. I like that they get a bunch of our games. I like that they get every Bills-Chiefs game. And there are a lot of Bills-Chiefs games. But I wanted to murder Jim Nantz yesterday for a lot of the crap that was coming out of his mouth. One of the things was, look at these teams, the Bills and the Chiefs. They're usually at the top, but look, they're behind Indy and New England and Denver and Pittsburgh, kind of. They're not. They're not. The Bills just haven't played enough games. The teams ahead of the Bills, their records are 7-2, 7-2, 7-2, and 5-3. The team directly behind the Bills is 6-3. All I'm looking at when I think about the standings in a league where they have scattered buys is the loss column. How many games have you lost? The assumption is when the Bills play, they win, right? Maybe not going into yesterday, but they got that one. But the assumption is if they have a game, they'll win the game. Playing the Dolphins next week. What's going to happen? The Bills are going to beat the Dolphins. That's what they do. So all that really matters, the outlier, is when they lose. So they lost twice, Patriots, Falcons. So they have 2 losses. As I look at the entirety of the AFC, nope, the entirety of the NFL. Sorry. No one has fewer than 2 losses. So you're in first place. You're in first place in the NFL at 6-2. You just haven't played your 7th game, or excuse me, your 9th game, because you already had a bye. But we're just looking, me personally, I'm just looking at the loss column for the standings. And the loss column says the Bills have 2 losses, like the Colts, the Patriots, the Broncos. And then in the NFC, there are 5. Eagles, Bucks, Seahawks, Packers, Rams. And not the Packers, because they have a tie in there too. So they're not in the exact same conversation. But the bottom line is you're in a spot as the Buffalo Bills that is no worse than anyone in the league. You just haven't played enough games to have the same record as the Colts, Patriots, and Broncos. Are the Bills better than the Broncos? Yes, they are. Are they better than the Patriots? Yes, I believe and hope they are. Are they better than the Colts? I'm not positive. I'm not positive on that one. It's certainly not. Like, I was hanging out with my buddy last night. He's like, well, the Colts are going to fall off. Daniel Jones. I'm like, yeah, except it's not Jones. It's the running back. Their ground game. It's their O-line and their ground game. That's a scary team. I like the Bills' chances against them if they face them. But I don't know that they're going to just fall off. Their point differential is 109. Like, they've scored 290 points and given up 181. That's good. That's a real team. Once in a while, a team in the NFL just bubbles to the top quickly in a season where you don't expect it to happen. This is the Rams in 98 or 9, whatever that was. This is the Titans that same year. It's like, oh, I guess we're serious. Those two teams played each other. Whatever, I can't remember if it was 98 or 99. They played each other. 99. They played each other in like a mid-season game, and both it was like a 7-0 versus 6-1, or 8-0 versus 7-1, or something. And it was a joke, like, is this a Super Bowl preview? It was. It was the Super Bowl preview. It was. Maybe that's 2000. That's 2000. Because the Rams went to Super Bowls back-to-back. The second one was 01 season, 02 post 9/11. I went to that one. And the Patriots were 14-point underdogs and beat them. But out of nowhere, the Rams were a thing. Out of nowhere, the Titans were a thing. And it was funny halfway through the season. And then at the end, those were the teams. It was real. Colts kind of seemed like that. Seemed like a real team. And it's the O-line. It's Quentin Nelson. It's Jonathan Taylor. They're real. I also believe, like the rest of the world, that the Daniel Jones thing is going to crash, but maybe not when he's got that kind of a line. That's a real team. Patriots they're coming. They're coming for you. I don't think it's there yet, but hey, they beat you at home. Now you have to go beat them there. But this assumption or this commonly held notion that the Bills trail the Patriots right now, not really. I mean, they do in that the Patriots beat them. They just have another win because they've played another game. The Bills haven't played another game. And they get to play each other again, and the Bills just will take care of them in Foxborough, and then we can stop with the they're ahead of us thing. I'm missing a part of this. In my mind, this all makes sense, and I know that I'm missing a part of it as I'm saying it out loud. The Pats are 7-2. The Bills are 6-2. Well, really, that's the part I'm not saying. The conversation would be, well, really, they're ahead of the Bills because they beat the Bills. But that's pretending that they're not going to play each other again. Like, if things are going to go well for Buffalo this year, they're going to beat the Patriots in Foxborough. And then we get rid of the part where they are, they've got, it's kind of an extra half game. No, it's not. They play twice. I mean, if you lose again to the Patriots, yeah, they got you, man. They got you. But you just have to beat a team that's not as good as you. So that's the plan for me. Go win that game. Go beat the stupid Dolphins this week. Get to 7-2. When do the Patriots have a bye? Honestly, that's something that's interesting to me. Because I, like you, do not enjoy looking at standings and not seeing the Bills in first place. It sucks. All right. Patriots are at the Buccaneers. Okay. Patriots at the Bucs this Sunday. They play again 4 days later against the Jets. Then they're off for 10. Now that's still no bye. No. When's their bye? There it is. Oh, their bye is right before the Bills game. All right. So they'll have a bye right before they play the Bills on December 14th. So they'll have a bye right before that. Until then, let's use the loss column as the judgment on who's in first and who's not. In an imperfect league with an imperfect schedule where some teams have played 9 games and some teams have played 8 games, we have to kind of do it this way. Look at the loss column. And in the loss column, the Bills are in first place in the league. Most of their games are wins. Assume the next one's a win. Assume the bonus game that's missing, that they haven't played yet, is a win. Everything's fine. That's how I see it. I don't know if that's the right way to see it, but that's how I see it. I'm going to take a timeout. It's Writer Radio. It's, 10:54 a.m. on episode 201. 201 episodes of Writer Radio. Are you kidding? You're not kidding. You're serious. You mean it. Scott Wilson's going to join me. We'll talk about football, probably, and whatever else is on Scott's mind. Scott's the best. Scott's the MVP of Writer Radio. Comes on twice a week. And I talk to him way more than that because we do the UB podcast. We do the UB broadcasts. We're roommates. We hang out. Hung out this weekend in Toledo for a Bulls game that actually was not stressful. Every Bulls game has been crazy stressful. You know how you felt at the end last night? Or yesterday, I should say, but it was night. It was dark. We changed the clocks. It was dark by the time the game ended. So last night, as the Chiefs have the ball with the opportunity to go tie it, like that's what every UB game has felt like. Not every, but 6 in a row prior to a nice 28-3 win at BG this weekend. And also, I did something new that I had never done before, and that is I was the color analyst for a football game working with Scott. Scott hadn't done play-by-play in like 20 years since he was a student at Buff State. And he, due to Paul's health issues, Paul Peck is our friend. Paul had a heart attack. Minor heart attack, I guess, is the right term, but Jesus, man, heart attack. Come on, Paul. So that happened right before the game last week. Not like in the stadium, but 2 days before the game. So Scott now has done 2 games as the play-by-play guy. Bob Gaughan was the color guy last week because he was there and available. But going to Bowling Green, it's like, are we putting somebody extra on the bus and in a hotel? And I said, no, I'll do it. They're like, really? Like, yeah, I'll try it. I don't know if I'll be any good. And I don't know if I was any good, but I was fine. And we got through. It was a good game. So I think we'll probably talk about that a bit. When Scott comes on in a few minutes, we'll talk about what happened with the Bills, what's going on with the Bills, the NFL in general, football in general, and also my new experience as a 50-year-old man. I called my first football game on the radio, and I think it went all right. My intention was to like cut up highlights from it and make that a part of the show. It didn't come around. It might over the course of the week. Maybe you'll get some of it. But we did it. I did a football game. I called a football game. And I think it went okay. We'll see what Scott thinks. He's allowed to make fun of me. I think he won't that much. I think it went fine. So we did that. Scott's coming up in a few minutes. I'm going to play some music and take a quick break, and then I'll be back with Scott Wilson as we continue with episode 201. 201 freaking episodes of Writer Radio. Writer Radio episode 1. What? No, not 1. No. 201. 201 freaking episodes of this. 70 of which we've had this guy appear on the show. Scott Wilson is here. I'm not going to play your thing today. I don't feel like playing your thing. What's up?
Okay, that's fine.
That's fine. How are you?
Good.
How's your weekend?
Yeah, good. Well, it was pretty good. You were there for most of it.
I was there for a lot of it. Yeah. We hung out together a bit. Where do you want to start with that? Let's start with that because honestly, that was a big thing for me. I've been doing radio stuff forever, and I've never been like play-by-play or color guy for a live event like a game. Aside from I was the color guy on a Joe Macy fight where Kevin Sylvester was the play-by-play guy, and punch-by-punch, blow-by-blow, I think they call it. There's some other term. He was that, and I was the color analyst, and I prepared like crazy for this thing because I was very excited, very nervous. The fight lasted, I don't know, like 1:42, and there is not a lot of room for analysis in 1:42. which is good because I wasn't, I'm no pro, but I was trying it and I didn't get to do anything. But a football game, no matter what happens, it's still going to last 3 hours. So we did that. I did the normal stuff I do, which is like a pregame show, and talk to Mark Allnut, talk to Pete Lembo, talk to whatever, and then normally I just turn off my mic, and then you guys do the game, and I had to do the game, and it was my first game, and thankfully it was the Bulls performed like we wanted them to, and nice, comfortable victory. Never had to really sweat it out, but when all is said and done, I now have I'm 50 years old, about to be 51 this week actually, and I now have that on my resume. I did one game as a color analyst for UB football, and it's over because Paul's coming back, which is great. We're excited. He goes back to where he goes. You go back to where you go. I stay where I belong, and we're good. But I thought I had fun. Did you have fun?
Yeah, I had fun. Sure. Yeah, it was being able to have a full week to prepare, I think was nice for me, and also a big advantage for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you were, I thought you were great. I thought you were good.
Great's wrong. Great's wrong. I was fine. I didn't mess anything up. I didn't ruin anything. I didn't ruin the game for you because, I'm thinking about me. Oh my God, this is the first time I've done this. It's only the second time you've done what you were doing. So, I'm being a little selfish thinking about me. But yeah, I think together, here's the good news, Scott. We've known each other for a long time. We've done a lot of radio together, and a very large portion of that has been talking about football. So put you and me together with microphones where there's a football game going on, and we just have to tell people what's happening in it. It's the role we were born to play. Like we're ready for that. You and I think we could call anything, but football, it comes first. We've done this a lot. We get along well on the radio.
Yeah, I think it works. We're just talking about football. I will say you are normally sitting behind Paul and I.
Yes.
So when something happens or something occurs or, we need a little tweak of something, I always have to turn around and say something. And you see everything, but we kind of are only looking at the field. And
yeah.
So I don't really notice what you're up to. And I thought it was fun to just, you're there and we were talking, and normally I'd have to wait to a break to say, hey, why would they go for that there? And instead I could just turn to you and say,
why would they go for that?
Why would they go for that there?
Yeah.
And then I think it worked out pretty well. And I'll also say, what was it? First quarter? I think it was first quarter. We go to a commercial, and you say, all right, I run to the bathroom. If I'm not back, read this in time. And I hadn't been noticing. Is that normal for you to drink all the coffee?
No,
and,
no. That was
I didn't think so. I didn't. But again, you're behind us, so I didn't know. But you were like, I gotta go. I've had 2 coffees and 4 waters and a Coke, and
Yeah, no, I drank.
Powerade. And I'm like,
I drank.
What? Wow, you are hydrated.
Yeah. Well, I was excited. So every stadium we go to, it's a different experience. You never know. You go to, you're at UMass, and you get there, and there's nothing available, and then you get to this place, and there was a full lunch spread available when we walked in at 10 o'clock in the morning or whatever. I think
Chunks.
10. Yeah. All of it.
Chunks.
Burgers. There were chunks. There were burgers. Chunks are, if you're ever in Ohio and they offer you chunks, they mean the thing that we call boneless wings here, basically. It's so that means. But there were chunks. There was
mac and cheese.
That was very good. The mac and cheese was very good.
That's pretty good.
So we walked in. Here's what I feared going into the game. I feared. I just have a different schedule than you do. You are there and you're hanging out as the color guy. You're hanging out and waiting for kickoff. I bring you on pregame a little bit, but you're The game's at noon. You are on at noon. The game's at noon. I'm on at 11, but also before that, I'm the person setting up the stuff, making sure it all works, organizing all that. I kind of get a break at noon. That's like the usual setup. I'm the pregame guy. I'm the engineer is a strong term. I don't drive trains. I didn't go to school to be an engineer. I don't know what that is, but I'm the engineer. So I set up all the stuff. And so the second we get there, I'm at work. And then the second the game starts, I'm kind of off, like I'm on break. This was different in that I have to do that. But then also when the game starts, I'm doing that, which is the bigger part of the day, really, for me, especially because I had never done it before. And I did spend a lot of time the week leading up to it thinking about food. Like, what's the food situation? If the food comes out at 11:30, I'm dead. I'm dead because I don't get anything because I'm buried in pregame. And then when the game starts, I'm doing that too. So we walked in and we got off the elevator and I smelled barbecue. I'm like, okay, this is going to work. This is going to work great. So I got to set up the stuff, eat stuff, then do the pregame show, and then roll right into the game. But along with eating the stuff, I was drinking the stuff. This is advice. I thought of this, and I thought, I hope I remember to bring it up, and I'm glad that I do. They had hot chocolate and coffee in like dispensers where you flip the little thing to turn it on and fill up the cup. And they're right next to each other, hot chocolate and coffee. And I thought at the time, like, I would like coffee, but I'm going to use hot chocolate as my creamer, basically. So it's going to be a mocha vibe. I'm a big mocha guy. I love Heath bars and Score bars. Like that. That's my favorite. That connection between coffee and chocolate. Damn it, I love that. So the first one I had, this is about all the peeing. The first one I had was coffee with a splash of the mocha or with the hot chocolate. The second time, I was like, that was not chocolatey enough. It didn't make sense. What you want to do if you're trying to get a mocha vibe between hot chocolate and coffee, what you want to do is you want to go hot chocolate with some coffee. So I had 3 of them because I was trying to perfect it. I didn't talk about this during the game, but I wanted it to be delicious and perfect. The first one was lame. It was mostly coffee, and there's a tiny little bit of it. Just didn't work. The second one, I'm like, oh, okay. We're gonna lead with hot chocolate. We're gonna add some coffee, and then we're gonna top it with hot chocolate. And that was right. That was exactly what I was looking for. So I had a glass of mocha thing, but I had 3 of them. And yeah, that's why I had to run and pee. It's why I peed twice on the bus on the way home. I drank a lot of liquid that day, but I don't know. I think it worked.
Yeah, no, I mean it worked. It worked. I just was like, all right, wow, he's taking this seriously. He's gotten himself all jacked up on caffeine.
Yep.
And he's fully hydrated. Wow. All right. It forced me to raise my game, and it forced me to make sure that I was being a good teammate and also staying hydrated. I don't want to be the one. I don't want to get to the fourth quarter and just be having dry. You can't get that.
Well, you had like a coughing fit on the bus on the way to the game.
I know.
That scared the crap out of me, man. Like I can't step up 2 chairs. Like I can go from mine to yours while you go to Paul's, but Paul's not there. If you drop dead too, like Paul did 2 weeks ago, he's back. He's back to life. He'll be back for the Central Michigan game. But if you're out and Paul's out, what the hell am I supposed to do? I'm in charge of all of it. We couldn't have that. So we did a good job and kept you alive.
Well, let me tell you what happens.
Okay.
With that, on the bus, it's you and it's John Fuller there, and we had joked about this situation on the drive into Bowling Green.
Yeah.
So now here we are. It's 8:30. What is it? 9 in the morning, maybe when we were leaving. Yeah.
Leaving
9.
the hotel to go to the game? Yeah, 9.
Yeah. Yeah. So in my head, I already know what's going to happen if I have to cough. So I cough, and then you and Fuller are immediately on me like, oh no, it's happening. Oh my God. So now that's in my head. Now I'm laughing and laughing as I'm coughing, which makes me cough
More
further.
coughing. Yeah.
It leads to more coughing, and then it's like, oh, and then the two of you are like, oh my God, John saying, oh, what are you gonna do?
John's pretty
What are you
dramatic.
gonna do?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, he likes to jump. He likes to jump on there and get you going. So yeah, it turned out to be fine. It turned out to be good. And yeah, it was nice to have a game where they just
Just did it.
dominated.
Just did it.
Yeah, just went out and dominated. Still not great at times. They still have
Yeah.
that one offensive quarter. They still have the one quarter where they just look lost.
Let's go
But the
three and
rest of
out
it, I
four
thought
times in a
looked,
row. Yeah.
yeah,
That
from
sucked.
midfield.
Uh-huh.
Um, yeah, Bowling Green's lucky that their senior day wasn't 50-3.
Yeah.
That could have very easily been a 45-3 game. Um, but the second quarter was kind of a blank for either side until Red Murdoch set the record. I feel bad for Paul. I mean, he doesn't miss any games, and then the one
I know.
he decides to miss 2 games. He's I'm sure he's fine with missing Akron.
Yeah.
That was what it was. But Red Murdoch sets the all-time forced fumble record. Uh, the Bulls return a punt for a touchdown for the first time in 10 years. Uh, it's
I should have that. I should
Fluffy.
have that to play right now. You as a new play-by-play guy, or recently, you crushed
Paul.
that. It was so good, dude. That call, your call of the punt return, is absolutely awesome and perfect and belongs at the top of any resume. It's not like we're trying to go get jobs in a different conference here, but if we were, that is the thing I would lead with, is your call of Vic Snow's punt return, 65-yard punt return. And my favorite thing, I told my wife about this when I got home. My favorite thing about that is I didn't notice that you had said in that call 65 yards or whatever it was. And then you had to wait to see what the official stats were, and it was 65 yards. Like, you took a guess, you're like, I know it's about 65, and you said it, and then it was right. And that, to me, it solidifies how awesome that call was. Like, you were so good, man. You're really good at that. I love Paul. I don't want Paul to have any more heart attacks. But if he does and he has to miss a game or two, you're doing great. You're doing really great. It was awesome.
I like that we have the versatility that if Paul needs a checkup or something, then that we'll be able to keep it afloat until he gets back, which we did.
Yeah.
And not to mention Paul also missed the free dinner.
Yeah. He missed the Mark dinner.
Missed the Mark dinner.
It's the best trip of the year. He missed the best trip of the year. And so far, the most complete game of the year. Like, offense, defense, special teams, all of it. Nailed it. Super good. Super fun. It sucks that Paul missed it.
And I forgot this, and you brought it back up there, and I just remembered it. The Bowling Green setup that they have for the food is, and I'm just the drinks. You were talking coffee and cocoa, and for me, I'm not a coffee drinker.
Yeah, me either.
And
it was there.
Deutsch Perry Stadium is one of the windiest, along with UB's, in the conference. Like, no matter what the weather is, there's always going to be wind. And there were a lot of years where I was down on the sideline.
Yeah.
And no matter when we played there, they always had hot chocolate. And it brings my affinity. It's one of the reason why it's one of the few MAC stadiums where I really liked and really felt comfortable going to.
Yeah.
Because that's to be able to come up at halftime and be able to get a full cup of something hot to take down onto the sideline for the second half is not something that they have at a lot of places.
No,
and they do there. and it's very nice.
Yeah.
And I don't have to worry about that anymore because I got to
You have a roof now.
for Halloween I was Paul Peck this year.
Damn it!
And
Why didn't you say that day? Oh, we should have done that.
well,
Lost, missed opportunity.
missed opportunity. I guess that's my fault. But
That's good.
it's a nice little touch that they have there because
It is, and
they don't have scenery, but they've got
no, they have no scenery. That is, you said that on the broadcast. Like, if you like I-75, this is the place to be because you got a great look at this expressway that's driving it. But the stadium is perfect. It's honestly, I hate our track, and that ruins our stadium for me. If we just could magically shrink it all, get rid of the track, bring in the stands, we would have a perfect stadium too. But a lot of these places, the place we're going, what's it called? Something Shorts Stadium at
Kelly Shorts.
Kelly Shorts at Central is perfect. I love Peden Stadium. I love that's Ohio. I love where were we last week? Waldo's great. They're all great. The track is our problem. But the vibe is right at BG. Again, the scenery is not great, but once you're in there, it's perfect. It's great. And like you said, the available warm beverages it's a nice touch. Like this is what we live off of. We're doing radio for a little school in a little conference, but it's still college football. It's still D1. It's still FBS. Like, just give me some coffee. Give me something to make me like you. And the two things I like about BG are what you just said about available warm beverages. The food was perfect. Also, in 15, 16, 17 years of doing this, my favorite person that I know from another school is Todd Walker, who's the play-by-play guy for BG. He is the only one. Russ from Ohio is not there anymore. He was the other one that, like, I knew and I liked and I wanted to talk to when I got to the stadium. And Todd comes in and he's excited to see us and we're excited to see him. And you did the interview with him for his pregame show. Like, he knows he can come in and talk to Paul or talk to you or talk to me for his pregame show. Like, I like the vibe. I felt very welcomed there, more so than I do in most places. And I know this is like petty and stupid, but I'm just being real. Like, this is what we do. This is a major part of our lives, doing these UB games. And shout out to Todd Walker, who's just awesome, the play-by-play guy for BG. He's just cool.
It helps that we have won 4 times in a row playing there. As far as
that's why I like it better than Peden. That's why I like it better than Peden Stadium. Peden Stadium, we never win. I hate Peden Stadium.
It helps that we win there a bunch.
Yeah.
It was a fun game. It was a fun game to do, fun game to be able to call and kind of get through. And now we welcome back the mayor of Bullstown.
Hell yeah. The mayor of Bullstown is good. That's very good, dude. Did you plan that?
No.
Did you think of that at some point during the week and hope that it fell out of your mouth just now? Because that was awesome.
No,
the mayor of Bullstown. The mayor of Bullstown. We have to stick with that. I know, but mayor of
Paul's
Bullstown.
coming back.
I know.
We're going to weeknight action.
Let's go.
And one final thing, because we should probably mention the Bills beating the Chiefs here.
Well, I want to talk about that and the World Series, but we'll get to it.
Ooh, yeah. Okay. One final thing. As we move now, the rest of the games for the MAC, by and large, I think, other than maybe 2, maybe 3, are all going to be weeknight action games from here on out.
Yeah.
But the conference has made a change here recently, and it was after a considerable amount of kind of pleading from some of the schools. And we're seeing this year a real result, a real positive result for everybody. And that is that they have, I think, other than one, they have moved all of their traditional rivalry games to October. so that those games are played on Saturday, and it
Oh,
gives the local fans there an opportunity to go and show out. And
smart.
the best examples that are coming to mind right now, the battle for I-75 between BG and Toledo was on a Saturday, and that sold out Doyd Perry Stadium for a Bowling Green team that is going, nowhere, and a Toledo team that this year is basically playing for a bowl game at this point. They're 2 games out of
Yeah.
or a game and a half out of the race to get to the
We didn't
championship.
see that coming, but that is where it resulted. But
That
yeah,
is
right,
what
exactly.
happened.
Yeah.
Yeah. And this past weekend, the only other Saturday game other than us and BG was the battle for the Victory Cannon between Central and Western Michigan. They're separated by what, an hour and a half, I think.
I don't
maybe
know.
2 hours.
I don't know.
They're
I've never tried the drive. I'll look it up.
If
You
if you
talk.
go to Central
You
Michigan,
talk.
if you
I'm
go
going
to
to look it
Central
up.
Michigan and continue west, you end up at Western Michigan.
Really? If you
Yes.
start in the middle and go left, you're fine. Yeah, I got it. All right, I'm going to look it up though. I'm going to find out. You keep talking.
But they played in Kalamazoo, and it wasn't a sellout, but it was like a 93%, stadium packed. And the Saturday games this year, by and large, across the conference, attendance is up for MAC games. And I just want to give them credit for, for a lot of years, these are rivalry games, and November's when we get national televised games, so we're going to put them there. And instead, it looks better if the nation doesn't always see your games being half-filled stadiums.
Mm-hmm.
And it really helps out the program in general and these rivalry games stay alive if you're able to get the most amount of people there, which is on Saturdays. And I think that was a rare move in college football away from just what is required to make money.
Just quietly
And
smart. Quietly
yeah,
smart. That's very good. I didn't know about this. This is good.
The MAC is one of the few conferences that has remained as it is. I mean, they're losing Northern after this year, and they have added UMass, but UMass was already in the conference
Yeah,
for like
it's
4
fine.
or 5 years.
Yeah,
So
it's
I
not
mean,
anything.
it's kind of adding in a friend that went away for 6-7 years, and
Yep.
now they're back. It's by and large remained exactly as it has for 65 years. And those rivalries mean a lot, and to be able to foster them and continue them on is more important than getting them on ESPN2 on a Tuesday night at 7.
Yep.
And being able to recognize that. And I think you're seeing that just in the attendance. Look at the attendance numbers of those rivalry games now that they're on a Saturday.
Yeah.
I understand. Everybody knows what they've got to do, and it's fun, and you get them on a Wednesday night, and you get a lot of attention, and you get it out there. Cool. I understand that. But to be able to reframe some of the games there and be able to get that has also been very important, and it's a nice switch.
Yeah, I love it. And I didn't know that. I'm glad you brought that up. I have a question for you. And this refers back to what you talked about already. If you want to get from Central Michigan to Western Michigan, what direction would you drive? You already said it. Just say your answer that you gave already.
Just going to say probably head west.
Wrong. South. Very, very much south. A little bit west. But
Okay.
Super south. It's a 2-hour and 10-minute drive. It's 134 miles via US 131 north or south, whichever direction you're going. But Kalamazoo is about 120 miles south of Mount Pleasant. So they call it Central Michigan. Not really. I mean, kind of. But they call it Western Michigan. Not really, but kind of. And then we have people also ask, which is my favorite thing on Google. Here are the other questions people ask. I typed in Kalamazoo to Mount Pleasant, Michigan, and it gave me this little map that shows you basically go south from Mount Pleasant or north from Kalamazoo. The questions people also ask, what is the most expensive neighborhood in Kalamazoo, Michigan? I don't care. What is Mount Pleasant, Michigan known for? Let's check on that one. It's known for Central Michigan University. That's it.
Yeah, Mount Pleasant is known. They have a casino there.
I was going to say that.
Host Sinbad.
Yeah, why didn't we Why haven't we been there? Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort and outdoor recreation, including numerous parks like Deerfield Nature Park. That's out.
Well, I think we usually stay in Lansing. That's why we don't go there.
We stay in Lansing. What about Clare? We stayed in the first year I went. We stayed in Clare. I was there. I was in Clare with Steve Christie at some point.
Maybe Clare too.
Yeah. So, all right. There's that one. The next question was: is it expensive to live in Kalamazoo, Michigan? No. I don't have to look at that. Is Mount Pleasant, Michigan, a nice place to live? Want to find it out? I do. It can be a good place to live for those who appreciate a close-knit community feel with easy access to amenities and a low-traffic environment. So that's a no. That's a no. You don't want to live in Mount Pleasant, even though it sounds pleasant, with the word pleasant right in the name.
If you're 18 to 22, you want to live in Mount Pleasant.
Yeah.
Probably a fun college town.
Hell yeah.
Little town like that. I bet you it's fun.
Geneseo-esque.
I mean, we've never been out there in Mount Pleasant because a lot of times we don't stay anywhere near the campuses. We're usually 20 minutes away.
We'll take a bus to the airport and stay at a hotel next to the airport.
Right.
Oh no, I'm sorry. That was Eastern. That's Eastern. That's Ypsilanti. Sorry.
But I mean, we've stayed quite a number of times in Athens, Ohio, at the University Inn across the street from the stadium.
Yeah, it's a good place.
And we've experienced that type of college town, which is similar to most of the MAC college towns, and that's great.
Yeah.
So I would assume if you're 18 to 22, it's in the fall and the spring, it's probably great. Outside of that, I wonder what. Not really sure if you really want to be around there full time living in Mount Pleasant.
No, you don't. People also ask, what is the toughest town in Michigan? And I have a list in front of me without clicking anything. I have the top 8 most dangerous cities in Michigan. Okay. Do you have a guess? Do you have a guess as the most dangerous city? Detroit is number 1 by a lot.
Yeah.
Detroit is the most dangerous city in Michigan. Number 2,
Lansing.
Lansing is not on my top 8 list. Think about
really? Okay.
Danger can come in many forms, one of which would be drinking water.
Oh, Flint.
Flint's number 2.
Yeah.
Also a very high crime rate in Flint, but I will blame that on the water. 3 is Pontiac, 4 is Harper Woods, 5 is Saginaw, 6 is Albino, never heard of it. 7 is Kalamazoo. I remember there was a murder like a week before we went to a game at Kalamazoo, I don't know, 5 years ago, something like that. And number 8 is Benton Harbor. I don't know what that is either.
Yeah, listen. You don't go into Benton Harbor and come out safe.
No one does. No one wants that. All right.
Benton Harbor's stats, I wonder if they're altered by some type of fishing accident type of stat skewing there.
Plus anchors to the face, kind of like fishing murders. Got to watch out for that. Do you want to do Bills beat the Chiefs, or do you want to do World Series?
Let's quickly touch on the World Series.
Yeah, World Series. Okay, good.
Are you aware of the story of the Los Angeles Dodgers 2 big home runs that a father and son that were attending the Blue Jays game? One caught the 9th inning home run, and the other caught the Will Smith game-winning home run.
No.
Yeah, father and son.
Okay.
They each have a ball. They're looking for $2.5 million for both.
That's all.
Talk about crazy.
That's a low number. I think that's a low number.
A crazy
coincidence.
Yeah. That a father and son will both have the ball.
Do you want to hold on? Now I have to tell my story that I've told 10 times, but I'm going to tell it again. I was at a Yankees-Indians game in 1994, and we went early, and we were sitting in right field, and Paul O'Neill was taking batting practice, and he hit he launched one that a kid tried to catch, and it hit him in the arm. He didn't catch it. It just hit him. So he just cried, bawled incessantly. Some, 8-year-old kid or something hit him hard in his left arm as he tried to catch the ball. He missed it. They got the ball fine. And he was sobbing, and it was terrible. And it went on for 3 minutes. And then he was okay. He came back to life. And then Paul O'Neill was still taking batting practice and decided to hit the kid in the other arm. It's probably the most amazing thing I've ever seen is a kid getting hit by a baseball 400 feet from where the dude is batting. He got hit, cried, lost his mind. They calmed him down. Then he got hit again, and it was amazing. Like we were all sympathetic the first time. The second time, it was just hilarious. So this is similar to that. So it's a good tie-in.
Yeah, I mean, you wonder if the kid has an affinity for Paul O'Neill or if he just decided to hate Paul O'Neill from then on
Either
out.
way, gave him 2 baseballs.
True.
Punched him twice to do it. So,
Right.
Either way.
That was an incredible game.
It wasn't the most incredible game of the series. The game 3 was the best thing I've ever seen. Game 7 was super good. Game 6 was decided on that ball being lodged. That's in finger quotes. I'll do it on the video. Finger quotes.
Yeah, that was.
What the hell was that?
That was nonsense. That was nonsense.
The Jays win the World Series if that doesn't happen, but I don't know how you fix it. If the outfielder puts his hands up, what are you supposed to do? Just ignore it? Like, what's the right call there? I have no idea, but that ball wasn't lodged, man. That ball landed at the wall. It didn't carry him the way that the outfielder anticipated it would, so he was like, nope, can't do this. And, dude, I go to a lot of baseball games, a lot of Little League baseball games. There are quirks about every place you play. It's like, if it goes out to right, there's a problem with the fence, and just tell the outfielder to put his hands up. Or we're playing when the grounds are wet and there's a massive puddle somewhere. And if the ball lands in that puddle, raise your hand and we'll call it a double and we're good. I don't, that was unacceptable to me, and I don't have any say. It doesn't matter. I have no sway with Major League Baseball. I don't even, as I said, I don't even know what I would have done differently, what I would have said, or how I would have called it or changed it. But damn it, man. If I'm a Jays fan, I lost the World Series because of that call and that play and a ball that was, how could I possibly get the ball from right there? He could have gotten the ball. And if he would have just gone to get the ball, he did the right thing from a team like we're trying to win standpoint of putting his arms in the air, and they stop play and they make it a double, and now it's second and third instead of a runner in. But I think the Jays win the World Series without that stupid call.
Well, I think if it's lodged and he can't get that out, I agree with that. And I know that there's some part of the rule where if he actually goes down and tries to play it, then they can't raise their hands after. And I disagree with that.
Right.
I think you should try to make a play, and if you clearly can't get the ball out, you need to raise your hands, and then we'll go from there. And the reason I think that it's nonsense is because clearly the ball wasn't stuck where it was unplayable. Because after 3 seconds, when the crowd is still going crazy and the Jays are still circling the bases, he thought, oh my God, what if they didn't call this? And then he just reached down, grabbed the ball, and threw it in. Like, right. Right.
Yeah.
He just got the ball out and threw it in.
Yeah.
I think it's, I don't think that it's one of those situations where the ball is lost in the ivy at Wrigley,
right,
or the ball
giant puddle, Little League, any of that
in Dodger Stadium. The padding doesn't go all the way down to the ground, and there's that little gap.
Yeah.
By some of the outfield wall. I know that because Aaron Judge was having an MVP season and then got injured on it a couple of years ago. There are little quirks where that is absolutely necessary, or even if it goes down into a corner and somebody touches the ball, that type of thing. I get it. Somebody touched it and altered it. Something, if it hits a ball boy down the line. Yeah. That sucks. It's unintended, but that's what happened. This didn't make sense when it happened. It was just right there. You just pick it up. You just pick it up and play it. and it felt like the rule was interpreted correctly, and everybody did what they were supposed to do,
Right.
but it still
But
felt
it sucks.
wrong.
Yeah.
Still felt wrong. Still felt like it was cheesy and not really in the full spirit of the game. But
Yep.
nothing you can do, and you can't. The Jays can't say that they didn't have opportunities
Oh,
to
of
win the
course
game.
not.
I
Of
mean,
course not. But it,
bases loaded,
yeah,
bottom of the ninth,
yeah,
and
I get it.
IKF is 7 feet off of third base and didn't take a secondary lead, and then is called out by 3 inches
Yeah.
at home plate to win the World Series.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Now
there
he
were
at
a lot.
least gave a good explanation because, watching the game, it's like, bro, we're trying to win the World Series. Why are you so close to the bag there? But apparently the coaching staff had told him before that sequence, with the infield being drawn in, that they wanted him to stay closer to third base to avoid getting doubled up on a line drive.
Uh-huh.
So he stayed closer to the base rather than getting that bigger lead, and it turned into being the reason why they didn't win the World Series in the bottom of the ninth on that ground ball. So
I love the nerd stuff about baseball. And if you love baseball, you love the nerd stuff. Like that's kind of the thing that made this maybe the best World Series I've ever watched is defensive plays. We love home runs as a society. We love pitchers and strikeouts and things like that. But the reality is that, like, Game 3 is one of the best things I've ever seen. And the thing that made it was, honestly, it was like Tommy Edman making plays in back-to-back innings. There was a line drive that goes to Freeman at first, and he can't quite get it, but he touches it, and it drops into, like, no man's land, where for sure everything is going to be great for the Jays. And Edman makes this sliding play, comes up, throws to third, and gets the runner out by an inch. Again, there were so many plays that were by an inch in this game, or in this series, rather. That one. And then the next inning was a fly ball into right that is fielded by, I think, probably Teoscar Hernandez. Gets the ball, guns it into the cutoff man, Edman, who makes the play at home, throws the ball to home, and gets him by an inch. Everything was by an inch. That's what made the series so friggin' good. It was awesome. I hate thinking about that play that we started talking about with the ball lodged in left. But for the most part, the series was all about these defensive plays that were made, and that's what makes baseball awesome to me. Like, I loved it. I am pissed that the series is over and the season is over and we have to wait, and all I can watch now are like 11-year-olds and 9-year-olds playing baseball. I want that again. I want it back.
And as much as I hate Dave Roberts as a Yankees fan, because
fair.
of his role in
stolen base
Yankee history,
ninth, Game 3,
I
Game 4.
have to give him credit. The Jays manager was good too, but I have to give him credit in Game 7 for pushing every button correctly.
Yeah.
And, like, making a mid-inning substitution to bring in Pages.
That was weird.
In center field.
Then
he ends up making the massive catch
right
in the gap
right.
while running over the left fielder. Like,
yeah, Kike got annihilated on that one.
Yes.
He got crushed.
But that's probably not a play that the normal center fielder makes because he's been banged up and injured and hasn't been as fast as normal. And like a mid-inning sub like that, it was a crazy.
No, that's awesome. You're right. I'm so glad you brought that up because I have thought about it, but I don't know. It wouldn't have come up in conversation. I wouldn't have said it. But when it happened, like, why? What are we doing here? Like, well, there's clearly a possibility of a play at the plate, and they think Pages is the guy to make the throw.
Right.
And then he makes that catch by running over Kike Hernandez, who, if go back and watch that, if you want to laugh at something, watch Hernandez get annihilated mid-air. He gets crushed. But Pages makes the catch, and it's fine. it ends the inning. What was the play before that? The play before that was crazy too. I'm trying to think. The second and third outs of that inning were
that's
nuts.
the second baseman. That's the second baseman there who had just tied the game. Was fielded it at second, the ground ball at second, and went home while he was stumbling down to the ground.
Yes, right,
And it turned into a perfect throw.
right. Oh my God.
to home.
All of
to
these.
home.
There are 10 plays in that series that were decided by an inch, and God, I just find it beautiful. It was awesome.
I did not want the Dodgers to win, but I'm very happy that on that play in the ninth inning, that the World Series wasn't decided on video review.
Oh my God, yeah, yeah.
That would have
been horrible.
For an epic World Series, that's not how you wanted to end it.
Well,
and Dave Roberts too, with all the mix and match nonsense and all the analytics and the nerds and everything in the game now, to just say, I know Yamamoto pitched yesterday. He's the best pitcher, and we're going to win or lose with him on the mound. So you're going to have to deal with him. Like, he's just going to come out and keep pitching. I'm sorry. And it ended up working out. I mean, the Jays hit him more successfully in those 2.5 innings than they had in the other 2 games that they faced him. But, it was still enough.
Yeah.
I think that's a ballsy decision. A guy that on 0 days rest to trust him in the 8th, 9th, 10th, and 11th inning the next day is ballsy, and he was right.
Yeah. This conversation has made me like that series even more. Like I sit and watch. I'm watching with my wife and my kids, and obviously they don't have the baseball background that I do and that you do, with like experiencing it through life and like why I think it's the best. I know you're a football guy. Baseball's the best sport. It really is. It's so great. And all of the things that I love about the sport of baseball came to fruition and were on display. Like, it was like a pageant of the best stuff about baseball. Umpires, they're always right. They're almost always right. Compared to what we deal with in football, where we're like, what is going on with this officiating crew? The umps, they get a play. I watch it. I'm like, I think he's safe. And like, the ump called him out. And then you watch it and like, no, the ump was right. By a 1/10 of a second, the ump was right. Everything about baseball, it's my favorite sport. It really is. It's so friggin' good. It's so interesting, all of it. I just, and that series reminded me of it. And then talking to you about it, man, I love baseball. That's my conclusion. It's not very dramatic, but goddamn, that was awesome, man. All of it was awesome. I kind of wanted the Jays to win instead of the Dodgers, but I don't really care. It was 2 teams, 2 likable teams, 2 good teams, nothing to hate about either one of them. And then every game had something in it. And then game 3 was one of the most like magical, crazy things that's ever happened in sports. So what a series. I can't wait for pitchers and catchers to report. I guess I'm ready. I want more baseball.
And I know we're running out of time here.
We're not. We never do.
How about this? Did you see the stat that there's been 2 18-inning games in the World Series history, and Brad Paisley has done the national anthem for both?
Do you know that he's done the national anthem 4 times ever? And every game has gone to extra innings. It's like a 10-inning game, a 12-inning game, and the 2 18-inning games. Like it's even crazier than that.
He needs to be on salary then for big games. Baseball,
right? Yeah,
consider it.
Yeah, no team should pay him, but the baseball in general. All right, Bills beat the Chiefs. Go.
Yeah, I think you see the difference with Max Hairston in there instead of Trey White. That's a big difference.
Yeah,
looked very different. That's a very positive sign. Also, a positive sign. Bishop looked like a real safety.
Yes.
Bishop
twice
was out there, not just breaking plays up, but also laying the lumber on Kelsey. I will say it is a little annoying that they are still able, after years and years and years and years and years of they need 2 yards, the ball's going to Travis Kelsey, and just no one in the frickin' league will just hug him.
Right.
Like, oh my God.
How about 4th and 17? How about 4th and 17? What about
Yeah.
that? What was that?
Yeah, that was
Going to be the story of the
day.
day. The Bills win the game, but that was going to be the story of the day. Was that play?
But at this point, I don't take too much out of the regular season matchups anymore because I think that the Chiefs know that they're going to have to go through the Bills in the playoffs, and I think that they play in the regular season games. I think they play very, very regular vanilla stuff.
Yeah, I think that's right.
And I think that they use that as a template to then base the playoff game off of. You know, what did they do when we were in this formation? What did they do when we were in this situation? And then they're able to kind of customize what they do off of that. Because the regular season games don't mean that much for the Chiefs, or haven't historically, because the AFC West hasn't been all that good until this year. So they've been able to just kind of consistently say, all right, well, that's 6 wins. And I'm sure, and they're way ahead of most of the rest of the league. So they feel pretty good that they're going to be, even if they were to lose that game against the Bills, they're still probably going to have a better record at the end of the season. Now, it's not that way this year, but I still think that they're very much in playoff. Call me when the playoffs start.
Yeah.
As long as we get in at this point, it doesn't matter. So if they have to meet again, I'm not taking anything from the first meeting into that game at all, because I don't think that I think the Bills and their staff are in a much different situation. I don't think that this staff would still be coaching the team if they were not only losing in the playoffs, but also losing in the regular season every year to the Chiefs.
Right.
Wait, right? I mean, McDermott would not be the coach if they lost every time.
Right.
I mean,
except they win almost every time. Yeah.
Right. They played now 10 times.
Is it 8?
In the last, whatever years.
8 wins?
And
7 wins?
I think it's 6 and 4.
Huh. I would have guessed more. Yeah. The regular season works for them. I think that I'm into the Chiefs mentality at this point too. And tell me if I'm wrong. I think the Bills are there also. Like, they want to beat the Chiefs. Of course, you want to win every game you play. But it didn't feel, this is the first time in this era where it didn't feel like the biggest thing of the year. Oh my God, the Bills are playing the Chiefs. It was a game against a good team that could beat you and all that, but it was just get the win. You need the W. The standings don't look the way that you want them to look yet. They're about to. It'll be fine. But go get that win, and it's a home game, and it's, I'm going to call it a night game. It's dark. Now that we turn the clocks back, it was essentially, it was the game of the week in the league, and the defending MVP went out and did his thing. Not in a spectacular way, but in a business-like way, and did what they had to do and go beat them. And I don't know that I speak for the team or, the fan base, but to me, I kind of feel the way that you just described the Chiefs treating Bills games. I felt that way about the Bills treating a Chiefs game. Like, yeah, it's a good team. Go beat them. Go win. And they did. And that's it. That's all that matters. It's not, now Josh Allen is better than Patrick Mahomes. No, it was go get the W to make it so that if you play him in the playoffs, hopefully it's here instead of there. And that's kind of it. I don't know. There's a detachment for me, but also I think it's reality. It's that the goal is not to win games in early November. The goal is to win a game in February. And to win the game in February, you have to get past that team probably in late January. The Colts can do what they want. The Chargers, the Broncos, Steelers, I guess, whatever. They can all win as often as they want. All that matters is who's playing in January and how do you get to February. And the Bills they just checked the box. I think workman-like performance out of Buffalo to take care of that, whether the Chiefs care or not. I care to that level that they're going to go in there, get the job done to make things better for that situation that is inevitable. Is there a chance that the Bills don't play the Chiefs in January? Is there a chance of that? It's like 4% chance that they don't play each other.
I mean, it's kind of nice to see at the midway point of the season that the Chiefs are in the hunt. As of right now, they are not in the playoffs.
Right.
But again, that doesn't matter
at all.
They're going to be. I think the more likely outcome is that the Bills, the Colts have an easy schedule. They end up with the 1 seed. The Bills end up at 2. And then their first round game is at home against the Kansas City Chiefs, who will sneak into the playoffs because, they just want to get in the tournament.
Fine.
And then they can try to turn it on.
Right.
To me, that seems like the most likely outcome at this point of the year.
Yeah. I don't believe in the Colts the way that you seem to. But other than that, everything you're saying makes sense.
Daniel Jones is.
Well, it's not Jones though. It's Taylor.
Jones last night.
It's Taylor. It's the O line. It's that O line. It's the moment that franchise turned around to me is when they went. We'll take Quentin Nelson in the first round. I know it's just an offensive lineman, but it's going to matter, and they've built everything around that, and that's why Taylor does what he does. He's exceptionally talented, but he's one of 10 guys that are capable of doing that. It's just that he has that O-line that starts with Nelson and moves from there. So I don't know. I think that's repeatable. I think having an O-line like the Colts have is repeatable, and everyone wants to make that story about Jones. I don't think it's about Jones. I think it's about them doing it right. So I think that's a real team. It's a real contender. I like the Bills better. I like the Chiefs better. Kind of like the Chargers better, kind of like the Broncos better, but I don't think Jones is the key to their success. He's doing fine with a really, really good O-line and a really good running back behind it. But I don't know. I'm not selling on the Colts here.
Yeah, Daniel Jones will show up when you need him the most.
Perfect.
Believe me.
Yeah.
Believe me.
See you mid-January. That'll be fun.
Yeah.
All right, I'm done. We're done.
Okay.
Want to be done?
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
Thanks, Scott.
All right. See ya.
See ya. That's Scott Wilson. I'm Brad Ryder. That was episode 1. No, damn it. I keep saying 1 because it's been 1 for a long time, but it's 201. That was episode 201. Play a song. Excuse me. Play a song and get the hell out of here. I'll be right back. Sort of. No, not that. I'm going to play a song. I'm not going to be right back. I'll be back tomorrow, 10 a.m. See ya.